Good morning, everyone.
Now, for our today's topic, it's all about rational equations and rational inequalities. Though, firstly, what is a rational equation?
A rational equation is an equation containing at least one fraction whose numerator and denominator are polynomials. These fractions may be on one or both sides of the equation. A common way to solve these equations is to reduce the fractions to a common denominator and then solve the numerators.
Now, firstly, again, what is a rational inequality? Inequalities are similar to rational equations in that they both contain rational expressions where they differ, though, however, is in rational inequalities, you instead find the values of the variable that will make the inequality true. Now that we have defined what is rational equation and inequality, let's first know what's our learning standards and the learning resources. Our learning standards in solving rational inequalities using a number line, then representing situations using rational functions, then using algebra skill to solve those problems.
Our learning resources include the modules from our general mathematics teacher, Mrs. Espinosa, her rational equation and inequality lessons, and lastly, rational equation and inequality worksheets.
Then our goal for today is to apply the key concepts of the rational equation and the equality. Then to perform algebraic operations so that the variables appear in the numerator.
For the pretest, let's solve for the following rational inequality. For number 1, after factoring the denominator, equating the numerator and denominator to 0, and testing our critical points on the number line, we find our answer to be letter D, negative infinity to negative 2 union positive 1 and 2. Number 2 is a rational equation. We first find the common multiple of the denominators, then multiply that to the whole equation in order to remove the fractions. Once those fractions have been turned into simple constants and coefficients, we can proceed to solving the now simple algebraic equation normally, which gives us an answer of A, x equals 11 over 6 when simplified. Rational equations and inequalities are used in many work-related contexts such as sales, where it is important to know things and process data that involve variations in things like cost, supply of products, etc.
Now this is an example of a world of rational equations. First we need to identify the given. We know that Justin can finish the studying for the single test in 6 hours, which we write like this, 1 over 6. Now we do the same thing for Anthony, as writing it as 1 over 5. Now, since the work problem is asking for the time it takes for them to finish when they work together, like keep in mind that we're together, all we have to do is add the two in order to get ours. Now, we first find the common denominator because they are dissimilar fractions, then proceed to add them normally. For the next step, we find the reciprocal of both sides in order to isolate x. After that, since our answer here is an improper fraction, we must convert it into a mixed fraction so that we are able to get our answer in decimals, which gives us 2.73 Rs.
Now we have an example of a rational inequality. We have a given of 5x over 3 is greater than 50. To solve this inequality, we must first get it into its proper form, which is having only 0 on one side of the inequality. We do this by transposing the 50. After that, we find the common denominator and then simplify. After equating the numerator to 0 to find x, we can now plot down our point on the number line and test for values. Inputting a number lower than 30 into our inequality in proper form, like 29, gives us a negative number. Inputting a higher number like 31 outputs a positive number, which is more than 0, meaning our final answer for the value of x that we write in interval notation is 30 to positive infinity.
All right, we're finally reaching the end of this presentation. Now, for our synthesis, a rational equation is a method that we can use in getting a specific result, especially if it involves rates, time, work, and the like. Now, a great example of this is how we can deduce a result of production or the completion of a particular work by several parties made possible by the combined efforts of both workers and types of machinery in a given time or schedule. Now, moreover, on the business aspect of it, it is also used to have a fair computation for one salary, and that is dependent on how much work they have completed or even the number of hours they have been on duty. Now, it just shows that the rational equations are a vital part of a progressing economy, since it is essentially used in every kind of work, be it in the field of medicine, business, and even agriculture.
Thank you for listening.
Now, all right, I think that sums it up for everything for today's lessons. Now, I hope you understand for our lesson for today, and I think that is all. Good day, everyone, and God bless.